just to kick off, I wanted to share with you why I am passionate about digital. So I have a clicker. Okay, I'll do this myself. Great. I'm passionate about digital because I think I've been working in digital for such a long time. What you see on the first half of the screen is, where I've been, and the bottom half is all the things I'm working on right now. Yes, those are all my jobs. And if you just look at the lower half of it, actually, let me start with the upper half. Why I say I think I've been passionate about digital, because digital data technology, has touched us in so many ways from long time ago. So I started my career at a telco in the US, AT&T, in 1998, and I was actually working on in the consumer markets division, deploying wireless technology into homes back then. So very revolutionary, but it was very exciting times. And then when I moved back to Kenya, I worked for Kenya's first online job portal, myjobsite.com. I don't know if any of you remember that. I even featured, we had no advertising budget, so I was the ad. I did the ad myself and starred in it. And then after that, I moved to Kenya's first business processing outsourcing center. I think a lot of you heard of Kenco. Worked with Nick Nesbitt for several years. And then I moved into International House Limited, where I was executive assistant for the late chairman, Chris Kirubi. And at that time, I started the project of digital transformation for several of his businesses, but in particular for Capital FM, where I moved over to be head of digital and IT. And then after that, I started thinking about, I've been a specialist, I really want to broaden my marketing skills. And so I got the opportunity to join Coca-Cola in marketing for several markets in Africa. I was very fortunate to get exposed and to work with, in over 10, 12 different markets in Africa, including Nigeria. I like saying that because if you've worked in Nigeria, you can work anywhere in the world. But even at Coca-Cola is when we started doing a lot of digital transformation work in marketing. I don't know if you guys remember the campaign Share a Coke. And when we're developing the Share a Coke campaign, we thought it was going to be a purely traditional media type of campaign, and it totally surprised us because most of our awareness and conversions came online from social. So then in the bottom half, what you see there, the Second Chances Foundation, of which I'm the founder and director, was born due to a situation that happened in my life. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2013, 10 years ago. And because of that, my friends and I started a foundation to fundraise and support others around that cause. And what we've been doing for the last 10 years is fundraising using online platforms to get support to help pay NHIF for cancer patients. And interestingly enough, one of our most successful online campaigns where we raised about $30,000 was a campaign we did with Kenyans in the diaspora. So we said, look, and it was completely online, help support, family members, friends, your Kenyan family in Kenya. As you heard, I have been at EABL for the last 4 years, 9 months. I just recently transitioned to Diageo, and at EABL I was very fortunate to work in media, digital, e-commerce, and then around that time I was also asked to join Galana Energies as an independent non-executive director. Also interesting times, as you all know what's going on in the petroleum industry right now, and my role is to advise the management and the board around marketing in a digital world. During the pandemic, like many of you, I got a new hobby, and mine became farming. And so I used to run away to our farm in Red Hill, Limuru. And because I'm such a lazy farmer and I have a terrible green thumb, I consulted, and I was told the easiest thing to farm, especially if you want to be a telephone farmer, is cherry tomatoes. They grow wild, they don't need fertilizer, and that is what I started farming. And then, again, I'm a terrible farmer. I didn't do my projections well. And Fred sitting here from Center, I'm confessing all my sins. I should have consulted you. My harvest way bigger than I thought, and I didn't have a market. So I started processing my tomatoes into a sauce, and now I sell them on greenspoon.co.ke, an amazing online platform. And finally, here I am now at Diageo, leading the Africa Digital Hub, a brand new job. It's been 3 months. I've spent the last 3 months just looking for people to help me, so recruiting. And I just wanted to share with you this because, a lot of times I get asked, how did you get where you are? And I think there's a common thread of just being curious, being passionate, doing things that are, there's ambiguity, and that's what comes with digital. And that's what led me to my purpose. How can I get more people to do this? So my purpose is to fearlessly influence others to be agents of transformation and positive disruption. So on to my presentation. So I promised William I had the opportunity this year to go to the Cannes Lion Awards in France. That's why I'm wearing a beret, to make sure you guys know I went to France. It was amazing. It's a festival of creativity where I call it the Oscar Awards of Marketing, and I had the opportunity to go, and I promised William I would come back and share, some work that I saw there that I thought is really inspiring. I have 10 videos, but I don't think we'll go through all 10 because I realize I have 25 minutes. So I might skip through some, but yeah. So the main topic or theme around Cannes this year was around AI. And I know you guys have been hearing this question, is AI going to take over your job? So before we get started, just whip out your phones, go to mentimeter.com, put in that code, and tell me what you think. Is AI going to take over your job? So how many said yes? AI is going to take over my job? Okay, smart people here. Resounding no. I'm with you guys. Resounding no, okay. Partially? Okay. A good chunk of you partially. You don't know? No clue? You don't care? Okay, so you don't care, gentlemen in the yellow shirt. And I don't have a job. You don't have to put up your hand. Okay. All right, so again, the theme came up so much during the Cannes Lion Awards, and I'll show you some examples of how AI has been used. My point of view is, so far from what we've seen, AI has been able to enhance or help with productivity, with efficiencies and effectiveness, and you'll see that in some of the examples I'm going to show. So this is actually my mentor, Mark Sands, who's the Chief Innovation Officer at Diageo, and this is what he said during his talk at Cannes, which I think is such an interesting way to look at data. We always think of data as this thing, and he says data is actually human behavior in disguise. And with AI, suddenly everyone will have access to that data. The depth of consumer understanding will become more widespread, and the secret sauce will be how distinctive your content is so you can be differentiated. Okay? So I thought that was just really a really powerful way of thinking about data and AI and human behavior. Okay, so I'll go right into the videos. The first one is from Samsung. So this is on the new Samsung phone. Sorry, let me just go to my notes.
So I started the unthinkable task of trying to get ads to target me. Free phone, please. Now this has got the internet going crazy.
So Samsung are hiding free phones in YouTube ads.
The idea is, as I understand it, you're effectively trying to engineer the algorithm into showing it to you.
Google the right keywords to get this ad to target you.
So why this one caught my attention is because, I work in media, and a lot of times our discussions are how to, the algorithm. We're not able to reach more consumers because the platforms keep changing the algorithms. So I think it was a very interesting way to sort of reverse engineer how to reach consumers. But what I also liked is, I was thinking, how did Samsung think about or get this insight? And it was also around social listening. So they're going around the web and trying to understand what, their consumers are talking about. And on Reddit, their consumers were talking about how to cheat the algorithm. And they picked that up and said, let's reverse engineer it. And then also, the other thing that I liked about this very simple tactic that we all know is there was a prize at the end, right? So that winning mechanic got people motivated to look for the Samsung ads, and before they got served the ad, they got served ways on, the unboxing, how to use the phone, etc., etc. So really clever. So this particular entry was in the social and influencer, so it's under media, but social and influencer. And in Cannes, they award 4 different medals, so bronze, so bronze lion, silver lion, gold lion, and then the ultimate is the Grand Prix. So would you like to guess what medal this entry received? Let's start with bronze. Okay, thought highly of it. Silver. Hey, okay. Gold. So a few hands for golds, yeah. Grand Prix, the rest of you. Yes? Yeah, so yes, it did win a Grand Prix. Really, 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 I think you can see why. So we'll go to the next one. I don't know how to use this thing. I've been on Zoom for 3 years. Okay. Yeah.
All right, don't be surprised your friends are talking about websites that use artificial intelligence to generate images.
You're thinking, type in a text prompt and it'll create images for you in around a minute.
How many of you have used an AI platform, ChatGPT or... Yay, well done. Clap for yourselves. You've not been left behind. And if you didn't raise your hand, go do that today. So, the first thing is if you look at the brand Heinz, when consumers think of ketchup in that market, they think of Heinz. And what I found this interesting is now they thought, okay, consumers think of Heinz, what does AI think of, when you put in the word ketchup? And then they used a text-to-image AI generator just to make it very simple, fun, interesting. Again, this is still around brand building work. Yeah, so you'd think Heinz, being a market leader in that market, would do more promotional stuff, but this is actually truly brand building work. Okay, the next one.
All right, don't be surprised your friends are talking about websites that use...
Sorry, I know I'm the digital diva, but I've not used the clicker in I don't know how many years. Okay, so this is an interesting one on outdoor media. So guys at Magnet, pay attention. And Kenya Airways, I see you, welcome. No, this is interesting, and it's not really to do with, even the airline industry. I think what the point is here is around, number one, looking at what the consumer is dealing with. I think Koi mentioned earlier, there's COVID-19, there's, supply chain issues, there's high inflation. There's so much going on around for this consumer. And one of the industries, as we know, that was really disrupted, and it continues to be disrupted, is still the travel industry. Like I mentioned, I was traveling last week, and I couldn't believe, how weak our shilling is. You're doing the exchange rate in your head, and you're like, I can't believe that soda is, that much. So there's all these pressures happening. And so BA, again, which is, a market leader in their market, still needed to find ways to create demand for travel. So one of the things that happens when you're traveling is you're asked, what is the purpose of your visit, right? And it could be business or pleasure, studying or medical or whatever. So they took it to another level. So they realized people are coming out of, harsh times and want to have a reason to get away, travel, visit friends, whatever it is. You know, like I said, I did media for EABL for almost 5 years, and one of our biggest challenges would be like, when do we change the flexi? You know, this one, it's literally every single moment. And not only was this a brilliant idea, but you know that it really factored in empathy there. But the results were great, and I want to talk a bit about results because it's been proven that campaigns that are award-winning from a creative excellence point of view also drive business results. So for this one, the BA website traffic and revenues had an uplift of 50% compared to pre-pandemic 2019. And so I think that's, right there, those are great business results from an amazing campaign idea. Okay, so the next one, that's the case board. Okay, so this one is another interesting one. How many people here consume TikTok media? I'm not raising my hand. Okay, interesting. So you'll find this interesting on, a different way of using TikTok. I won't say anymore.
This is Galvão Bueno. The voice of emotion in all Brazilian sports. The official narrator of all Ayrton Senna's wins. Even of his death. Of Brazilian Olympic victories. And 11 World Cups. In 2022, he finally retired.
A voz do esporte brasileiro se despediu hoje.
I'm going to ask a really dumb question. How many people watched the World Cup final? I need to see all hands up. Okay, all right. A good chunk of you, great. So you'll definitely relate to this and remember Argentina won. And why this campaign was quite interesting is because I didn't know this, but apparently Argentina had been waiting for 36 years to win. So that's why I think this World Cup was so special for them and for their fans back home who didn't make it to Qatar. So let's take a look.
Suddenly, I get a notification from Pedidos Ya. What the hell? I didn't order anything. I'm broke. What the fuck? I got scammed.
I didn't order anything, pieces of shit.
Why did Pedido Ya, the #1 delivery app in Argentina, send a fake push notification to all its users? Argentinians waited for the cup for 36 years. And finally, the national team delivered. The country was complete madness. But something was missing. The World Cup trophy.
People are waiting for the trophy.
At full speed, we cross-checked the flight number with public data from an aerospace traffic app and linked it to our delivery app. So right as the airplane wheels lifted off Qatar's soil, 6 million Pedido Ya users took the bait. To everyone's surprise, the classic delivery map, instead of a cheeseburger, showed the World Cup's journey home, so every Argentinian could follow it in real time.
When I opened it, you moved me to tears, Pedidos Ya. Clap, clap, clap. It was the cup.
I think I love you, Pedido Ya.
Therefore, a simple push notification achieved something incredible, making Pedido Ya have 32% more mentions than Messi. On the day the whole country was thinking of Messi and Argentina becoming champions, the Pedido Ya hashtag reached the top of the trending chart organically, turning it into the most viral brand action of the World Cup. We reached more than half the country, and all of that with an investment of $0.
So this entry won in the category of creative data, Anyone want to guess what metal it got? Bronze? Silver? Hey, gold? Grand Prix? Yes! Okay, you guys are too ambitious. It actually won a silver. Anyway, so why this one caught my attention is I think there was a lawyer earlier who came on and sorry I don't remember your name, who was talking about data and data privacy and the Data Protection Act and GDPR and all that stuff that we have to as marketers not just comply but be very cognizant when we are connecting with consumers. And this, when I first looked at it, I said this was actually a data breach. Yeah, because you're sending me a push notification and I've not ordered anything. Like, it's borderline, and I was wondering what kind of conversation they were having with their legal team, when they wanted to pull this out. And it goes back to being heuristic and being innovative. And innovation is about that. They could have done it and it fails and you go back and too bad, it failed, what can you learn? Or do it and this happens, right? The other thing that also impressed me about this execution is it used existing technology. So it used, AI. It used Google Maps. Yeah, just basic Google Maps. And then it used, those flight tracker platforms, yeah, that are out there, they're free. So they didn't even have to go in and build anything. They just looked around and used what was available and customized it to fit what they needed to do. You can't leave without showcasing the first Cannes Lion PR Silver Award from Kenya ever came from this campaign. So this campaign won a silver lion for PR and a bronze for social and influencer. And the beauty of it is this campaign was launched just a couple of months ago, right? How many of you have seen this campaign? I think it was launched just around International Women's Day. And well, let's see the amazing campaign and results.
Today we're talking about period shame. Period shame. A class 6 pupil who took her own life after she killed herself on account of period shaming.
Now, how do we deal with this period shame?
I find it very uncomfortable, very inappropriate.
It's a lot of shame on this House of Speaker. Rule the distinguished nominated senator out of order.
But I'm asking you to leave so that you go change and come back with a cloth that is not stained.
Can we give a big round of applause? First PR Cannes silver from Kenya, and well done to the team at Scanad. I was so fortunate. I was sitting next to the ECD Mega Duta when this was announced, and she screamed and cried, and it was so emotional because she told me the story of how they started doing this work and the challenges they faced, and getting to Cannes was just something else. So I was really proud of the entire team at Scanad. Okay, so I think that's it for the case studies. I'll just wind up with a couple of thoughts on why I came here actually to talk about what are the conditions of success that, for us marketers when it comes to digital transformation. And I talk about 3 things. One is, if you look at your organization, I want to walk, but this thing, should I carry it with me? Okay, let me stop being silly. Um, so if you look, I'm like, change to this podium, but it's fine. Okay, so 3 things. Operating model, basically, when you're doing digital transformation, you know, oh, thank you very much. I wanted you guys to see my outfit also. This is from Vivo, Kenya, and the belt, obviously, as you can see, is, you know, Masai. Thank you very much. As we know, when you're doing digital transformation, you're going to face challenges. It's a new environment. If you don't have the right operating model, you're going to fail flat on your face very quickly. And then secondly, around people and talent. Again, we said, you know, we did the poll earlier, will AI take over our jobs? No, because we are people, we are humans. So do we have the right team? And sometimes you just need to have a sprint team or an acceleration team or whatever it is, or investing in talent. And I'll share with you what we're doing at EABL and Diageo. And then the last one, which is, I think is the most important, is around, do you have the culture? Does your organization have the culture? But you specifically, is that mind shift set there? All those case studies that you've seen earlier today could not have gone through without having a culture shift in the way you think about your brand, your consumer, and the way you want to connect with them. Bringing in the creativity, but also thinking about how do you use data or technology to do it more effectively. So what we're doing at So what we're doing at EABL is, one, we've been very clear about our operational model. So right from the CEO's office to all the functions, we've clearly defined what our digital vision is, which is to win in the next generation of celebration. So our purpose at Diageo is to celebrate life every day, everywhere. And it ties into our digital vision, which is to win in the next generation of celebration, engaging and delighting our consumers with world-class leading experiences across every physical and digital touchpoint. Very simple vision. Everybody in the organization knows about it. We talk about it all the time, and we make sure that we are executing, whatever we're executing is in line with that vision. The other thing is we've created, what you see down here, a digital transformation ecosystem that is all connected across all functions, from commercial, supply, demand, consumer, marketing. Everything is coming together. So there are no dead ends. We don't work in silos. We have really supercharged cross-functional teams that think about how do we ensure we're using data and technology to delight our consumers, to connect with them better in a frictionless way. The other thing that we've done is around, remember we talked about the operation model, the people, upskilling. Diageo Digital now is our digital upskilling program that every single employee goes through. There are different modules that are assigned to you that you have to take classes over a certain period of time, but different things and different projects you can get involved in that are truly around digital transformation. And it's an investment that we're really proud to have, because we're really saying digital is the way to go. In addition to that, if you see above, we've also rallied our leaders to make sure that they're actually talking and doing the rallying calls to the teams internally, to our partners, our distributors around digital. So, for example, when we're launching a platform, we launched a B2B self-service platform called Diageo One about 2 years ago in the middle of the pandemic. Basically enhances, if you're a distributor or a customer, how you can order our products seamlessly online. It gives us a lot of insights to better serve you. And that whole platform was, the rallying call came from the commercial leadership. In addition to that, still talking about people, so this logo you see here, DigiTribe, is EABL's in-house digital creative agency. So about 35 creators who sit in Nairobi, Kampala, and Dar es Salaam, and who basically do the social listening, do the creative campaigns. work with the brand teams to ensure that they're really in culture in the activations that they're doing. And then Africa Digital Hub is something that was just launched 3 months ago. Again, it's a shared service hub that helps to accelerate digital transformation across different markets for Diageo in Africa by bringing in specialist capabilities. So, for example, you typically would not find a data scientist sitting in the marketing function, but the hub will have a data scientist to help the marketing team with understanding data better. And then finally, about culture. So some years ago, we launched the EABL Culture Code, which is around bold, progressive, and connected. I won't go into the definition of all that, but basically, we look out and reward and recognize behaviors that are bold, progressive, and connected. So follow fast, failing forward, really, thinking differently about how to solve problems is very much encouraged.